Welcome back to Prime 5. Today we're exploring 5 of the most insane, what-were-they-thinking places on Earth. So buckle up. This is a ride for those who like to stare danger straight in the eye. Expedition number 1, Verzaska Dam, Switzerland, the 007 jump. Imagine standing on a 720-foot concrete wall, then throwing yourself into open air. Sounds crazy, right? Welcome to the Verzaska Dam, one of the highest dams in Europe. So why do they call it the 007 jump? Because James Bond jumped off it in the thrilling opening scene of GoldenEye, 1995. That 220-meter drop was 100% real, no CGI, pulled off by stuntman Wayne Michaels. It's still considered one of the greatest stunts in film history, and according to multiple surveys, remains the highest on-screen jump ever pulled off without special effects. Since then, it's become a magnet for thrill seekers and Bond fans. You can actually book the same jump straight off the dam and free fall for 7.5 seconds before the cord snaps you back. And it doesn't stop there. They even offer night jumps under floodlights if you really want to test your nerves. Most people describe it as a surreal mix of cinematic deja vu and pure chest-pounding adrenaline. And if you're not into free-falling off concrete, no worries. The dam is open to non-jumpers too. You can walk across the top, snap some amazing photos, and take in the panoramic views of the Verzaska Valley and its turquoise river below. Expedition number 2, Youngest Road, Bolivia. Once famously dubbed the world's most dangerous road, this 64-kilometer stretch is now a renowned destination for adrenaline junkies. It's carved into steep mountains, extremely narrow, just 3 meters wide in places, with tight hairpin turns, blind corners, no guardrails, and sheer drops of up to 600 meters, nearly 2,000 feet. Locals call it the Death Road, a nickname earned after countless fatalities, including a horrific bus accident in 1983. It was built in the 1930s by Paraguayan prisoners of war during the Chaco conflict, meant to connect the Amazon basin to the capital, La Paz. And here's a weird twist. Unlike the rest of Bolivia, traffic here used to be left-hand drive. Why? So drivers going downhill could see the edge better, instead of guessing their way into a 2,000-foot drop. These days, it's a magnet for thrill seekers and dark tourism fans. Cyclists bike down it, descending more than 11,500 feet, from freezing mountain air to humid jungle heat, battling fog, falling rocks, and their own survival instincts. Expedition number 3, Kjerag, Norway. This place is Daredevil's paradise. Welcome to Kjerag, home of the wild Kjerag Bolton, a gigantic boulder wedged between 2 cliffs, hanging 3,228 feet above the Lyse fjord, making it one of the boldest and most stomach-churning photo ops on the Earth. Getting there? Not easy. It's a 10 to 12 kilometer round-trip hike with steep climbs, exposed ridges, and even chains bolted into the rock to help hikers on the steepest bits. The hike is seasonal, typically only recommended from June to September. Outside that window, icy and wet conditions turn the terrain slippery and dangerous. Once you reach the top, you're standing where the mountain ends, and the abyss begins. Some come just for the view, others come for the jump. Since 1994, Kjerag's cliffs have become one of the world's most infamous base jump spots, with over 1,000 recorded jumps. Here's the weird twist. More people have jumped off the cliff than have actually stepped out onto the boulder. Yeah, apparently standing on a rock the size of a fridge, with no ropes or rails, somehow freaks people out more than diving off it. Expedition number 4, Mariana Trench. The first 3 expeditions were about defying height. This one, it's about diving to where Earth hides its secrets. Mariana Trench, the deepest known part of our oceans, plunges nearly 36,000 feet below the surface, all the way down to Challenger Deep. That's deeper than Everest. Flip the planet upside down and drop Everest in head first. It still wouldn't touch bottom. Down there, nothing but darkness and crushing pressure, over 1,000 times what we feel at sea level. That's like 100 adult elephants standing on a person. And yet, life survives. Alien-like creatures thrive in these extremes, like the Mariana snailfish, the deepest fish ever discovered, alongside bizarre ecosystems built to survive insane pressure. Only a handful of humans have ever made the plunge. In fact, more people have walked on the moon than have reached Challenger Deep. The first were Jacques Piccard and Don Walsh in 1960, followed decades later by James Cameron in 2012, and most recently, Victor Vescovo in 2019, who who dove to 10,928 meters aboard the submersible limiting factor. And what's at the bottom? Strange deep-sea creatures, mud volcanoes, hydrothermal vents, a world nothing like the one we know. And here's the wildest part. Even here, at Earth's most isolated, unreachable point, there's trash. In 2019, explorer Victor Vescovo spotted a plastic bag and candy wrappers lying at the deepest place on the planet. Okay, moving on. Expedition number 5, Mount Everest and beyond. From the deepest point on Earth to its highest peak, Mount Everest, the highest point on Earth. Standing at its base makes your bones feel fragile. Every step up is a battle with oxygen, cold, and sheer willpower. People have risked everything. Frostbite, altitude sickness, avalanches, just to plant a flag above the clouds. But for some, climbing isn't enough. They want to fly. So they skydive over Everest, jumping from high altitude and gliding past the peak, with snow below and clouds all around. And the wild feats don't stop in the sky. On the mountain itself, extreme athletes have pulled off all kinds of stunts: skiing, snowboarding, even powered paragliding straight off the slopes. That's it for today's expedition. 5 places that make danger feel like a tourist attraction. If you enjoyed the ride, drop a like, hit subscribe, and let us know. Would you try any of these?